Hi, legends. Let me see if the feed's coming through. Yes, looks all good. Hi, legends. Welcome to another live stream. Thanks for joining. Beautiful Friday. I'm sure everyone getting ready for the weekend. Today, we will assess and analyze the price of Bitcoin and discuss those high probable rejection or support levels to the downside for perhaps more momentum to the upside, or can we just expect momentum to continue here to the upside? Ooh, legends, very, very interesting. And this is why I also put in the thumbnail today, playtime. Okay, is that I, when Bitcoin starts consolidating, right? When Bitcoin finds a top and it starts ranging and consolidating, this is usually where people bleed out their accounts. Okay, if you're not experienced in trading and you come from a trending market to the upside and you start ranging, okay, all the profits that you've made, those insane green portfolios that you love to wake up to in the morning, gets lost during ranges like this. And I have just seen it too many times play out, and I'm not sure if you guys can concur, right? If you're not an experienced trader, this is very dangerous territory and it plays with your emotions. Is it going up? Is it going down? Then it goes up, then it stops out the longs, then it stops out the shorts, and then it just continues ranging until it says, okay, I've had enough. Let's continue momentum to the upside and start making money again. Okay, perhaps recovering all the losses that you've made, or all the losses that you've incurred during this little consolidation area. And that is why risk management is absolutely important. Right, legends, yesterday we hit 4,000 subscribers here on the channel. I appreciate the love and the support, and I think it's only going to get better from here. Okay, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. But before I get in there, let me say hi to the beautiful community and then we can get the party on the road. So a little bit of structure for today is playtime, right? And when it's playtime, there's no structure. We just do whatever we want. What I want to do for today is let's analyze the price of Bitcoin, perhaps on the larger time frames first. Okay, let's go through the weekly. Let's go through the daily. Let's take stock of where we are from a Bitcoin perspective. Have we reached the top like many influencers are calling at the moment? And I see on social media, some people are saying the top's in, right? Don't get fooled. This is a trap. We're going down. Okay. Is that the highest probable scenario? Or can we still expect a little bit of a more bull market momentum here to the upside? Smash up the like on your way in, legends. Let's get the party on the road. First comment in today's stream, Kalal. Hi, Dewald. What are the best time frames to look for CVD divergences, please? Okay, what I like to do for CVD divergences is that first, I don't really like to go past the 15-minute to 1 hour as my maximum where I look at CVD. Okay, so let's look at CVD on the 1 hour time frame and just see, well, where are we? If we look at this entire consolidation structure that we find ourselves in, the one thing that I usually like to look at is, generally speaking, with the momentum that we're seeing to the upside, is CVD neutral? Is CVD moving up, or is CVD aggressively moving down? And here we can see CVD, well, is still aggressively moving to the downside. Okay, which tells me holistically from this picture over here, even if you still get nasty corrections inside of this structure, so you're ranging, probabilities from a larger time frame perspective tell me that we could potentially still go up. Okay, but I do not use the 1 hour CVD to make any trading decisions. Okay, the smaller the time frame from a CVD perspective, the more powerful it becomes. Right, then you go on to the 15-minute time frame, and what I like to use the 15-minute time frame for is to look at the recent structure, for example. So I will use the 15-minute to look at this structure over here. And when you start identifying, okay, there's bullish CVD against those two pivots. Target is the high, it claimed the high, right? This is where CVD becomes a little bit more powerful. And this is also what I refer to as more local CVD. And the more local it becomes on the smaller time frames, like the 3-minute and the 5-minute, the more powerful it becomes. Right. So now I can see that we have already had CVD against these two pivots over here, which already played out. And blue is moving up, which shows me that there's a sign of weakness. There's weakness forming in this zone over here. Blue is moving up. Yellow is going sideways, ever so slightly down. It made bullish CVD again with these two pivots. There's fresh bullish CVD forming again, of which the target is the high, right? And then on white, nothing. So we only have one confirmation, okay, where there is bullish CVD against these two pivots. So the weakness inside of the local structure is a bit concerning. Then I go on to the 5-minute time frame. Okay, just jumping here right into the education. Just have to answer that question because it's a really good question. Now I want to see more locally, okay? Between the highs and the lows, are we building bullish or bearish CVD? And it does look like price at the moment can like to be finding a little bit of weakness, okay? There was bearish CVD against those two pivots. Can you guys see? Even between those pivots. But I mean, bearish CVD, the target is the low, and we took the low, right? So CVD played out to perfection over there. Then price made again bearish CVD. I saw it somewhere on blue, bearish CVD. So on blue, we are continuously, even against this pivot over here, we are still forming bearish CVD. On blue, more specifically. On yellow, it's still far away, and on white, it's still far away. But I don't like the sign of weakness over here, considering that if you are speculating that the bull market is going to continue from this zone, it's just going to shoot up. I would say the probabilities from a data perspective, looking at CVD, does not really support the scenario. Okay, so local CVD always takes priority. Smaller the time frame, the better. Okay, CVD that happens over in this structure is far more powerful than the 4-hour time frame or the 1-hour time frame that I've just shown you. Okay, because if you look here on the 15-minute time frame and I look at the structure over here, okay, if price falls here to the downside, it starts falling to the downside, and then you start building nice little bullish CVD. Maybe CVD also then starts falling and you form this nice bullish CVD, confirming that price can continue and claim the high again. Then more locally on the 3-minute and the 5-minute time frame, I want to see signs of strength. If there is continuously bearish CVD building up against those two pivots, right? And every time you make a retracement, bearish CVD, it will continue to push price down and override the larger CVD. So that's just a little bit of education. And I have actually explained all of this in detail in our Legends Pro community. First link down in the description if you'd like to come and join. Okay, you click on more. Let me see if it's still there, right? Our Legends community, first link down in the description. That is where I have made a tutorial explaining the CVD in a lot more detail. Right. And then obviously Legends, before we start off over here, remember the exchanges that I use to do my daily trading is Bluffin. The more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account. Okay, up to $100,000. And then Weeks, one of my favorite exchanges at the moment as well, is only an email and a password to sign up to $20,000 sign up bonus. One of the exchanges with the lowest trading fees, and you get that opportunity to spin the wheel for guaranteed prizes. Okay, there's no zero inside of here. Maybe try another time. There's guaranteed prizes in here. The more you trade, the more opportunities you get to spin the wheel over here. And there's up to 1 Bitcoin up for grabs. And please let me know if you guys win any of the prizes here in the comments. That would be absolutely insane. Or go and post it on inside of our Discord community. Cool, Legends. So now what I want to do, okay, I know we all want to know, Dewald, what is going to happen here? What is going to happen with this structure? Are we going up? Are we first going down? Okay, we will go and assess this probability in a moment. Let's first, stand back and look at the oil painting so that we can see the entire picture. And I might have to just update a couple of things live here with you guys today. Let's go on to the weekly time frame. First, let me just switch off the weekly levels and start with a nice little fresh, clean chart over here. And let me just say hi to Promise and them. Rise and shine. How do you do? Very well. Thank you so much for joining. Shiba, please. Yes, I will do some altcoin requests. Let me just first wrap up the analysis here on Bitcoin. It is the king. And I mean, if Bitcoin takes a dump to the downside, everything follows. Good day, folks. Elizabeth, welcome to the live stream. Hi, Dewald. R Pink, good morning. Sam, what's happened to Arweave? Right, I do have Arweave. I want to talk about Arweave over here. Ooh, it looks like it wants to break out. Let's see. First, want to focus on Bitcoin. Hello, Dewald. Good day, sir. Hi, Dewald. Can you look at Theta? Have a great day, Trader Eddie. Flux is going to 10 jabillion euro dollars, bro. I think Flux, I haven't looked, I'm not going to go look at it now. Right, legends, we're going to go focus here on Bitcoin first. Christoffel, like, smash, thanks for joining. Frank, good morning, Dewald and legends. Dewald, my cab driver in Vietnam just asked me about Bitcoin. Is that a bad topping signal? Yeah, you know, it's starting to get bad. I think I can see retail is starting to come back into the market. I can see retail is starting to come back. And thanks for sharing the love over here. I appreciate it. Hi, all. Nicenti, welcome. Marco, hi, Dewald. Okay, cool, legends. I think that's most of the comments. Andy, in the house. Flux will blow your sock, just one sock, Andy. Flux will blow your sock off. Okay. Well, I have a token that could potentially blow both your socks off. Right. But I know, yes, Andy is very bullish on Flux. I think it is a token that I've spoken about for many weeks. And right, let's just go quickly have a sneak peek here at Flux, because now your guys make me curious. And for those of you that are not following Andy, okay, Andy's link for his YouTube channel is here down in the description. Okay, go and give Andy a follow. One of the best technical traders that I have come across in the crypto space. Okay, if you want to learn proper technical analysis, you follow myself and Andy. If you want gambling, meme coins, and you know, this thing is going, you know, unrealistic targets, this thing is going to 2, 5, 10x from here, and then it doesn't do that and it liquidates your account, you know, go follow the moon boys. Right, let's have a look here at Flux. Well, I did do a lot of scribble over here. Let me just clean up the chart and go. I like to just, you know, let's go first quickly look at the daily. Yes, I mean, it looks pretty. It looks pretty sexy. Okay, just quickly, what I'm looking at over here is an RS flip, right? Resistance, 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 resistance. You go sideways. Accumulation zone, train station, however you want to refer to this. You broke out with high volume. Okay, you broke out with high volume. You came back for the retest on lower volume. That's usually a great sign. And this potentially is a nice little great load up zone for continuation to the upside. First area of major resistance is round about $1, 1.6. Yeah, let's just call it $1, right? $1 to $1.1. Area of resistance, always look to the left for these little pivots and consolidation areas because they do provide resistance. But further up than this level, I don't really see much. Okay, yes, we have this consolidation area here by the 0.618, but it's not as strong as this consolidation area. So I wouldn't be surprised for price to consolidate over here, maybe build a little bull flag, and then just smashes through like ADA did. ADA just ignored the resistance. It just went stop once, it had one pullback, and it shot through. Okay, but I do think that Flux, definitely a realistic target of $1.7 is definitely in the making. So right, there is your altcoin fix before we dive into Bitcoin. Let's go back here onto the price of Bitcoin, focus here on the weekly time frame, and let's go, let's stay to the weekly time frame and let's go through a couple of scenarios. Bullish. Right, let's talk about this scenario over here. Okay, let me just not make people too excited with that little fifth wave that's overextended there to the upside. So from a weekly time frame perspective, this is now the conundrum. Okay, it does not look that great. Double 1-2 on flux at the moment. Ooh, Andy, are you saying that there's a double 1-2 forming? I'm keep on getting distracted. Yeah. Yes. Yes. It could be a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, or is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C? I would like to see a little bit of a larger three-wave structure to the downside. Would be nice. But I mean, we can go and analyze flux in a moment, legends. It does look good, okay? From a macro perspective, from a daily perspective, it does really look good. There's also a nice little trend forming over there. If you're unsure what's going to happen in this zone, you could potentially play the breakout. But I mean, it's still far away from the trend. You know, this is the major trend, okay? But if you can get an entry in this zone before you play the breakout, okay, I mean, even better, because then you can have a free trade to the upside. So if flux breaks out over here, you can have relatively tight stop loss, and by the time it gets to the trend above, you can already have a protected position and a free trade on the higher time frame to the upside. So definitely interested to see what's going to happen here on Mr. Flux. Double 1-2 on the higher time frame. Andy, I just have to check out what Andy is pointing out over here. Ooh, okay. Okay. I mean, it's a bit weaky here to the upside, but Andy, are you saying 1-2, 1-2? Is that the 1-2 you're referring to? Are you referring to 1-2, 1-2? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to go and try and count this price action. Very confusing. These wicks to the upside are very confusing. I'm more interested in this structure. Okay. So, I mean, this could be a 1-2, three-wave corrective structure. 1-2, 1-2. It did retrace too deep for a fourth wave, so the only option that is left is a double 1-2. 1-2, 1-2, because you tap the 0.618, it can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to make a larger corrective structure. So because of the 0.618 tap over here, the only way that you can really count this is a 1-2, 1-2. And maybe another 1-2. You don't know how many 1-2s you're going to get. 1-2, 1-2. But I mean, that third wave, you want to be inside of this wave. That's where you want to be, because that's what happened on KDA. That's what happened. That's the one, Dewald. Yes, that's what happened on ADA, right? And I know Andy has been speaking about those tokens as well, right? But this structure looks really juicy, because if I look at I'm not going to go and try and count that, okay? I'm just interested in this structure. But if I want to count this from an Elliott wave perspective as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you still expect a larger ABC, and that's boring, right? But we do have an invalidation. A fourth wave is not allowed to tap the 0.618. So if we bounced here by the 50% as a maximum target and price started recovering, I would have said, legends, maybe we're going to get a rejection in this zone. Let's wait for the pullback. But the structure looks extremely bullish. 1.618 maximum target, 786. Okay, if we do get another sweep of the lows, I'm not going to be scared. It's still a buy zone for me. And then from a spot perspective, I do have a nice little spot bag, which I bought. I can't remember where, somewhere in the zone. I bought a nice little spot bag. So, I mean, it would be nice. Would be nice to get that little third wave here to the upside. And I mean, third waves can be very punchy. Andy knows. Andy, myself, we know how crazy excuse me, third waves can get to the upside. Okay. I mean, just looking at this structure, minimum target is the 1.618. But I mean, when you have a double 1-2 combo, right, that's your minimum target. If this structure plays out 1-2, 1-2, you still expect a 3 as a minimum target here by the 618, 1.618, this zone over there. But guess what? If this is a 1-2, 1-2, you still expect a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, and that is the minimum target. It does not have to stop at the 1.618. Third waves, you guys know. Did you see XRP? Did you see Pepe? Pepe's third wave went past the 5.618. Pepe is, yeah. That third wave just went to the upside, okay, including XRP. Absolutely insane, right? So I'm just sharing with you guys minimum targets. If this scenario had to play out, 1.618, 618, if we do stop there, you break through the resistance, 4545, you still expect a 4545 to the upside because of 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. So it needs to end the way that it started. But anyways, legends, I see what Andy is seeing, and if Andy is bullish on a token, I mean, the legend has been nailing some of the trades here recently during his live streams. If you guys haven't been following Andy, right, legends. Anyways, getting distracted, okay. Andy's dog drinks Stella only. Okay, cool, legends. Let's get back here onto the price of Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame, okay, guys, let's just follow the technical or let's just complete the technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin. Looking at this structure over here, doesn't look great. Very boring. 1 2 3 4 5, and we are starting to hit some 5-wave targets to the upside, after which you then expect a larger 3-wave corrective structure to the downside. Okay, bull market, bear market. That's the simplest way that I can explain it. We are still expecting, looking at the local structure over here, looking at this local structure, I'm still expecting that high to at least still be claimed once. So this 5th wave is potentially almost done. Okay. So not the best looking structure. Okay. This is very boring. And I see a lot of people are looking at the structure saying that we are reaching topping points over here, a topping point, and we are going to go back into a larger 3-wave structure to the downside, which is not all that bad. Okay, and I will give you guys my probabilities at the moment. This is not that bad because you still expect to form a higher low compared to the low over here, which you will not take. And guess what? Now you need to zoom out. Okay, guess what? I mean, this is not good news at all. And this could last for a year. And bear markets are typically 12 to 13, around about their months. But once you form that higher low, guess what? Now you have a 1, 2, and you can form an explosive 3rd wave here to the upside, where you will take your fib extension from the low to the whatever high we make over there to whatever low we make, and then you're looking at 178 or $180,000 give or take at the 1.618 level. But a very boring structure, a really boring structure. So I just want to point out that, okay, this is a scenario that's currently on the cards. And this is a scenario that some eliticians are having a look at, and they are still expecting a little bit more of upwards momentum. Okay, around about $110,000, $120,000, and then bam, we're back in a bear market. So, right, just want to point out the scenario. It is still something to keep in mind, and it has not been invalidated. The reason I think that this scenario carries lower probabilities is because of time. Okay. From a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense because typically each and every single bull market that we've been in since the beginning of Bitcoin has lasted 3 years, more or less, give or take, minus a month or two, plus a month or two. But more or less, each bull market has lasted 3 years, and each bear market has lasted 12 months, give or take, some 11, some 13 months. So from a timing perspective, we have not reached the 3-year mark yet. The 3-year mark only ends next year, October. So from a timing perspective, I would say that this scenario carries lower probability. Okay, then one could argue, okay, well, we could still have an extended 5th wave here to the upside, which is rare because the 3rd wave already extended. It's usually when your 3rd wave doesn't extend up until the 618 level where you get an explosive blow off top 5th wave to the upside. Okay, so there is still chance for more upwards momentum looking at this structure where we don't potentially end over here because from a timing perspective, the scenario doesn't make sense. And the only way that the scenario will make sense is if history does not rhyme for the first time since the creation of Bitcoin. Right. So if we start a bull market in this zone to the downside, it will be the first time since 2009 when Bitcoin was discovered and posted and developed, the initiation of Bitcoin, that we will have a bull market that only lasted 2 years. Okay. Right. So that is the conundrum that we're sitting on right now. But never fear, because there are always other scenarios that we can keep in mind. There is still a 112 combo. Sorry guys, not that one. Let me just find it here. There is still this scenario, and I need to use the logarithmic scale for this scenario because this one gets quite crazy to the upside, right? This scenario, unfortunately, will only start increasing in probabilities when volume starts increasing. So I just want to see over here. Usually, I just want to see. Yes, usually when I showed you guys the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, your third wave has the most amount of volume. And then your last push to the upside has less volume. And I can see it at the moment. There is more volume here. Can you guys see the volume? Look at the green volume over there. If I draw a line, okay, we have not claimed that volume. Then in the recent move up, we have lower volume. And that is very characteristic of a third wave and a fifth wave. A fifth wave usually, almost most of the times, ends on a higher high with less volume. If volume starts increasing over here, if volume starts increasing and it starts superseding this volume, more volume than the volume over there, this scenario gains in probabilities, because then it means that this third wave is now active. Okay, because you want to see the most volume in this third wave. And at the moment, it doesn't have more volume than this wave. So if we start seeing some decent volume kicking in on some of the big exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and Bybit, and the volume starts increasing beyond this volume over here, there is definitely the possibility that we could still complete the 112 structure here to the upside, and that other structure that I've just shown you goes out the window. Okay, so, and this structure is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then inside of your third wave, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete 3. So basically you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Like I've just shown you on Flux, same structure. Okay, just on the largest and on the macro scale, on a macro scale. This fifth wave could potentially top round about, I would say, $250,000, $300,000. I mean, this is an extremely bullish target. And I don't want to be the one calling for this scenario, okay, yet. If volume starts to increase over here, I'm going to say, okay, now, legends, now this scenario is starting to gain in probabilities. We could potentially have a bigger bull market here on our hands than we anticipated. We are potentially going into a super cycle, but for now, not yet. But it's just something to keep on the radar. Right. Cool. This scenario also coincidentally aligns with the bull market timing perspective, which could potentially see the bull market end by next year, end of Q4 next year. So this scenario, from a timing perspective, aligns way better than the previous scenario that I've just shared with you. Okay, so, but we need volume. We need volume. We need retail to come back. Okay, what a legend. What a legend. The legend in the house. If you guys have not seen, okay, if you guys have not seen Matt's channel, I do have a link for Matt here down in the description. On my YouTube video, down in the description, I've got Andy, I've got Matt. He is here in the comment section. Mr. Matt, welcome to the live stream. And if please go and check him out. He does crazy fundamental news around the market. If you go through Twitter and you read news and you don't understand what it means, Matt has this amazing ability just to simplify everything for you. So I really enjoy watching Matt because he summarizes all the news into a video format that I don't have to go and scroll and do research and read everything. And he also made some great calls on a couple of meme coins that has X'd multiple times here to the upside. So go and give Matt a follow if you haven't checked out his channel. He's here in the com section. Right. Cool. So, legends, this is the scenario from a most bullish perspective that I'm keeping an eye on. Okay. Right. So, I mean, we started with a little bit of doom and gloom, and now we're saying, okay, maybe there's a little bit of hopium, but we need to see volume starting to come back. We need to see altcoins starting to rampage a little bit more harder to the upside. We need the market to bring retail back. And once the market can bring retail back, okay, guess what? Volume will start increasing. So Bitcoin needs to bring retail back into the market. And although I've seen a comment over here of someone saying that my taxi driver asked me about Bitcoin, I don't think the topping signs are there just as yet. I'm not sure do you guys remember the previous bull cycles? Okay, when we were here, do you guys remember the euphoria? Um, it's almost, it reaches a phase where Bitcoin can never go down again. Everyone is bullish. Your grandma, your child, everyone bought XRP and Bitcoin, and everyone is smiling. It feels like you're on top of the world, that euphoric feeling. You just cannot lose. You have the worst entries on some of your altcoins, and it just keeps on making and printing money. Okay, people start selling the craziest NFTs for hundreds of millions of dollars. I remember that happening during these two little peaks over there, right? It was absolutely crazy. The euphoria that was over here, the silliness, people spending money on crap, buying pixelated pictures of shit for hundreds of millions of dollars. That was the silliness that happened over here. I don't see that yet in the market. For those of you that were here during this phase, do you remember? Do you remember? Huh? Do you remember? Okay, I don't see that yet. And this is why I think, okay, from a topping perspective, I haven't seen the craziness yet. Yes, some meme coins are exploding, but we see that during every cycle. There's some silliness that happens, but it's not over the top just as yet. Therefore, I still believe, even with a little bit of a pullback and a correction along the way, when I haven't seen the silliness. I just have not seen it. Let me know if you guys think that we are seeing that silliness at the moment. What about bearish scenario? I will get to the bearish. Well, the bearish scenario that I've highlighted is the only bearish scenario that I have right now is this scenario over here. This is the only bearish scenario that I have is this one. Okay, this is the bearish scenario that we are topping out in a fifth wave and we are going to make a deeper ABC or corrective structure to the downside, which could come down as low when you take a fib from the low to the high. Maybe we go up a little bit more to 100, $110,000, $111,000. The maximum target that you would like to see is $23,000 to still create a bullish structure for momentum to the upside. So this is the bearish case scenario that I have. But there is still a little bit of bullishness left because this fifth wave can still continue slightly higher. Okay. So bearish scenario. This is the bearish scenario. Bull market is done. We already had 5 waves to the upside. We can now start correcting in a larger 3-wave structure. 382, 50%, 618, 786. Unfortunately, a big target zone up from $50,000 up until $23,000 is your target zone for corrective structure to the downside. It can get nasty, and we could potentially also just fall down from where we are right now and start the bear cycle. But based on the probabilities that I've discussed during the beginning, this scenario carries lower probability. Okay, I still expect a little bit more of upwards momentum. And I'm not sure if, for those of you that's been following me for a while, I have also shared the timing cycle that I've prepared. Okay, I'm not going to go through that again, where I discuss the timing cycle of each bull market, the halving, where it takes place, the calculations, how long the bull markets last, how long the bear markets last, all purely based on data. From a timing perspective, this scenario has the lower probability. Unless we have a blow off top. We don't do the 1-1-2 combo, but we have an extended fifth wave to the upside, which we refer to as a blow off top, a blow off top. Okay, and who knows how high this fifth wave can go, but even an extended fifth wave, it doesn't really matter, okay? Whether you count this as an extended fifth wave, if momentum still continues here to the upside, or as a 1-1-2 combo, the result is exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter how you count it. If momentum still continues to the upside, the result is exactly the same. If it is an extended fifth wave to the upside, you still want to see the fifth wave end on lower volume. If volume is going to start to increase, then we know, okay, it's potentially a 1-1-2. Okay, and this is now the third wave over here, busy forming the third wave. Then 4-5-4-5. So the 1-1-2 combo is still slightly more bullish than even if we have an extended fifth wave to the upside. Okay, cool. Hope that makes sense. Smash up the like for the education over here, legends. With no money printing, though, which is quite insane when you think about it. Yes, I mean, money printer hasn't gone brr just as yet. Okay, a lot of people are concerned. Also, when you look at, I want to discuss that with you guys as well. I'll get to that in a second. But also, when you look at USDT dominance, it is at a critical level. So, and I guess this is also why some technical analysts are saying that this bull market will potentially be a lot different than previous bull cycles, because when I look at USDT dominance, we are at a very, 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 very critical level. Okay, let's not do logarithmic just as yet, because on the log scale, I see a completely different picture. Okay, some people might argue since the creation of USDT, we have never lost this trend. Always just tapped and bounced perfectly. You want USDT to go down for the bull market to continue. You want money to flow out of stable coins into the crypto market. When USD dominance goes up, it means that people are selling their Bitcoin and their altcoins and they're going back into stable coins. So when I look at USDT dominance over here, you can see where we are. It looks bearish. We have lost trend. We've already potentially come back for a retest, but now we have formed a double bottom. I don't like double bottoms because we all know how powerful they can have momentum back to the upside. You need to claim this low properly. And I mean, it needs to smash down and claim it properly, a proper lower low. Okay. When you are now reversing market structure where you have a high, you have a lower low, and you could come back up, maybe reject in this zone for a lower high, and then you continue momentum to the downside. So we need to take this low. And I think this is why a lot of technical analysts are looking at the data and saying, I don't believe that, because we still have a double bottom. We've never lost the trend in history. I think we're going to bounce back. Looking at Bitcoin, I think the fifth wave is in. Okay, this is how they're analyzing the market. We are going to go into a deeper correction to the downside. So, I mean, it's a possibility, and unfortunately, the scenario has not been invalidated. The reason I think that, let's play it out. Let's say that this scenario is intact and it is going to play out and we're going to have a very short bull market. I still expect a little bit higher for this fifth wave based on this structure. I still expect a little bit higher, and we can zoom into that structure now in a moment. Okay, so that is basically Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. Now we go on to the 8-hour time frame. Okay, now we have seen what the oil painting looks like from afar. Now we look at this structure over here. Okay, where we made the low at what? $48,000, 800. This is where we made the low. And now looking at this structure over here, there is still a higher probability to still continue up. Okay, because this structure has not played out yet. So this is either a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then you still expect 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, okay? Or you can ignore, because, some people regard this as part of the corrective structure, this little box over here, but then we just look at this structure. So I take the scribble out, and then you can still count, okay? Ignoring that structure over there. So let me hide it so we don't see that structure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or even 3 if you want to end it over there, but you still expect a 4, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this one is already done. Okay, you made the fifth wave over there, but then at least, if this is the end of this structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you still expect another 4, 5, at least one more high to the upside. Okay, so there is still a higher probability that regardless of what happens over here, we still need to make at least one more high. Round about $110,000. Okay, so, and then if this is also a 1, 2, you expect another low and you expect another high. So you would then say you make this high, 3, 5, and you make another high. And then we have a deeper ABC 3-wave corrective structure to correct this entire structure. Okay, so not really good, okay? A little bit of doom and gloom, but I mean, there is still some hopium here to the upside. And right, if that double 1-2 combo is going to start kicking in, then that is great. Because also, legends, let me just give you a little bit of good news, okay? Let's start with a little bit of good news over here. If I look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame, okay, let's just look at this entire structure here on the daily time frame. There is still that potential of a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is also a 1. We go a little bit higher. You complete those 4, 5, 4, 5s here to the upside, and you create another 1, 2, and then you explode to the upside in a third wave. So as long as you do not take this low, maximum target 786, I would say 59, let's call it $60,000. You could come down to as low as this zone over here, and the structure is still bullish. I can just imagine how many people are going to believe that we are in a bear market when this happens. And guess what? Looking at the macro structure, you have a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and guess what? Higher low. Can you imagine how bearish people are going to be when this structure corrects itself and it comes down to $60,000? I think people are just going to sell everything that they have, but you still have a macro bullish structure and it continues momentum to the upside, where you now have in fact formed a triple 1-2 to the upside. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, bam, to the upside. And we go into face melting price action that we've never seen before. But people believe we were going back into a bull market. Okay, so I mean, basically what I'm trying to tell you and show you over here is even with a much deeper, so even with still some upwards momentum to complete the bullish structure over here, you could still have a much deeper correction that can still be very, very bullish and bring some great buying opportunities for momentum back to the upside. We should just not claim the low at $48,000. That is your invalidation. If this corrective structure comes down and it taps this low, then I'm going to say, okay, well, bear market, right? Short, we're changing history. Will this time be different? Will this time be different? That's always the question. And every time people think that this time is going to be different, it's not different. Right. Is Dewald breaking our hearts this morning, Alex? I'm just showing you technical analysis. Okay. Personally, guys, okay, let me give you a little bit of good news over here. Personally, I'm not going to go through the structure in detail, but I mean, I just need to end this off with a little bit of good news, okay? When I look at this chart here, make sure that I'm on the log scale. Let's zoom in over here, okay? I have done the analysis on all the previous bull cycles that we've had, and all of them have respected. What happened over here? Why is this thing so big? Okay. All of them have respected the cycles to perfection with a little bit of deviation. Okay. Every time you have a 4-year cycle, between each halving. The orange lines is your halving, 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 halving. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. Bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market, bear market, bear market. You guys get the picture. According to data, okay, and each one of them has slightly been off, okay, like with a couple of months, a month or two, but each bull market to date has lasted 3 years. And the halving has always been in the middle of the bull market. You have a pump to the upside, halving takes place, and then you have 98% of the gains was only made after the halving. So even if you missed the first half of the bull cycle, you still made 98% of the gains after the halving. So if you measure the move from there till the top, okay, 98% of the gains with this move was made after the halving. 97% of the gains was made after the halving. 89% of the gains was made after the halving. And where are we now? Okay, this is now the interesting thing. I didn't want to go to this through this structure into too much detail, but I do see that people are feeling a bit like, oh, really? Okay, this is where we are right now. So based on all the previous data that we have on Bitcoin that has played out to perfection, where every bloody cycle people are like, this time is going to be different. This time is going to be different. Look at where we are. We are here. Okay, we are here. You can see, okay, I can actually take that line out. I don't need that line, but you can see where we are, right? So according to data, technical analysis, not my emotions, being robotic about what I see, what's played out in the past, bull market still needs to continue up until next year, October. Then we're going to go into another 12, 13-month bear market, right? So for people that believe that we are going to go into a bear market right now, from a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense. And this is why I highlighted when I discussed the probabilities from a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense to go into a bear market. It could make sense to have a scary correction here to the downside. That makes sense to me, to have a scary correction to the downside, making people believe that we are going into a bear market, only to rampage out of here and surprising everyone. This makes sense, more sense to me than saying we're going down and we're going to go do a bear market to the downside. Right. Okay, you might say, but we also started early. But here's the data. We started exactly according to data. We started exactly where we were supposed to start. Okay. I mean, this is just the data. The data doesn't lie. You can go and do this for yourself. Go do this exercise, right? Go and map out the previous bull markets. Go see where they started. How long did they last? Where was the bear markets? Where did the halving take place? How many years did each halving last? Go do and put the data together and you will see, well, that is where the bull market started. That is where the bear market started. I mean, this is just purely based on data. So if we started earlier or later, I don't care. It's still following the cycles. Yes, some of them are off by a month or two, but generally they are still following the cycles. So this is kind of in the middle of no man's land. It's still, purely based on data. It still needs to continue. How high it's going to go, I don't know. The only the biggest uncertainty that I have about this model is the target. That is the uncertainty that I have. But from a timing perspective, it's just like clockwork. It's just, it balances. The equation is balancing. Right. So next year, October, I mean, all that will happen is if we go to $500,000 on Bitcoin, all I do is just move the target up. So no one can predict where Bitcoin can go. Okay. But I can, with some level of certainty, predict how long it's going to last, because every 4 years we've had a halving. Every bull market has lasted more or less 3 years. Every bear market has lasted 12, 13 months. Okay, so I hope that gives you guys some confidence and data to make investment decisions. As always, I'm just here to entertain you, right? No financial advice. Cool, legends. Now, Okay, this was now the interesting part. Okay, now we know where we are from a daily perspective, from a weekly perspective, and also we know what the probabilities are from this structure, where regardless of what happens in this range, I'm still expecting at least one more high, then maybe a correction, or even two more highs, then a correction. We just don't know how many highs it's still going to make, because I don't know if that's a 1-2 over there, and if that's part of the corrective structure, or if this is a 1-2, 1-2, 3-4, 5-4, 5. We don't know, but the probabilities for now are still higher to move up for a little while still. Okay. Right, legends. Now it becomes juicy. Now we go on to the 1 hour time frame. Okay. I've taken you from the weekly, from the daily, from the 8 hour. Now we are here where things are very interesting. This is where people want to pay attention and like, okay, now we can take some trading setups here together and potentially look at some support and resistances. But let me go through some comments because my mouth is dry and I want to see what you guys are saying, and then we can go and look at the scenarios over here. I do see a little bit of a rejection at the moment. What is CVD doing? Yeah, I mean, it's only berry CVD on blue just so far, but I mean, we can go and analyze that in a moment. Smash up the like for the education, and let's go. What would be your target for bear market lows? For bear market lows, I can only work out the target once we have the highs. That is the conundrum, Matt. The conundrum is I need the high to be in order to work out a bear market low. If we fall down from where we are right now, the bull market extreme target to the downside, and this is the maximum target that I see, is around about $23,000. If we still continue a little bit higher, that target moves up. Okay, so maybe it will be $30,000 if we still continue to move up here slightly. So worst case scenario, for now, based on where price action is, $23,000 if we start a bear market right now. Okay, great question. But why 1112? It looks too much bullish then. I think we are already complete. Third wave up. Yes, I mean, it does not have to make a 1112. Okay, so some really good questions. Let me go back here onto the one day time frame. Okay, so the only reason I was highlighting a 1112 to the upside is to say that if things gets nasty to the downside, we could still form a 1112 as long as we don't take this low. Ideally, what you would like to see is for price just to continue to the upside. So the most bullish case scenario is that the 1212 is in and we're not going to make a 1112, and we just continue. It just continues to the upside. Small little pullbacks along the way, but nothing significant along the way. Where you are then in your third wave, but then you want to see some volume increase. Volume has to increase, okay, to confirm momentum to the upside. Volume is decreasing at the moment. Right, so the only reason I highlighted a potential 1112 is because if for some reason we do fall to the downside, we could be forming a 1112, keeping the structure intact. But it doesn't have to come down. It can just continue and continue and continue. Okay, we just need to see some volume come in. Right, then there's no pullback. We just continue to the upside. So, but a very good question. Also, the Bitcoin dominance is at about 40% when the bull market ends and not near the top like now. Yes, some good observations. It's just good to stay level-headed in this game, legends. It's very good to stay level-headed and not get beyond yourself, okay? And not expect that pullback to the downside, knowing where to take profits. But for me, and this is my trading strategy, this is my research, this is my what I am going to do, and I encourage every single one of you to do your own research, is I am not taking profits yet on my Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to be robotic about what I've invested in, and I'm going to follow my process. So the news and the things that you read on Twitter, that's, people are saying the bear market has ended, and they have all this clickbait thumb titles and things like that. That is people playing with your emotions, okay, playing with your fear and your greed. I am going to follow my model and I'm going to be robotic about my model. My plan, okay, dare I even say, my plan is to cash out over here before we hit the end, because I want to be out of the market before the police comes, before the bar fight breaks out, before people get too drunk and too silly. I might miss out on more upwards momentum, but round about next year, August, right? Next year, August, guess what? Dewald is going to start taking profits aggressively. I'm going to start taking profits because I'm going to be robotic about my analysis. I'm going to follow my analysis. And that is what it means to be robotic and not let your emotions get in the way, because you can very easily read news and listen to another influencer based on emotions and the hype and get lost in the euphoria. You don't take profits. We go into a bear market. Maybe the bear market starts a little bit sooner, okay, because it does vary a couple of months sometimes. And then you're like, oh crap, I didn't take profits. Now I lost out. Okay. I got hooked in the hype. Cool. So, legends. Right, let me go through some more comments. If we hit 500K this cycle, very bullish target, where would your bottom estimate be for the bear cycle? So let's go on to the weekly. I mean, that's very easy. Is you simply take, oh, you have to like really zoom out for this one. Okay, it's very simple. I mean, if you look, so I like to use the logarithmic scale when I analyze, especially the weekly time frame. So you can see from this little pivot, okay, same scenario. You take a fib from the low to the high. Where did we bounce? On the 50% fib level. That was our bear market. This is our bull market. We bounced on the 50% fib level. So what I will do, very, very basic, simple technical analysis, is I will take my fib to wherever the top is. Okay. So let's make it 500K, around about 500K. So if momentum continues here to the upside to around 500K, now you have a 382, 50%, 618 maximum target, $32,000. Right? But if history repeats itself where you bounced on the 50% fib level, then you're looking at an $88,000 retracement, bear market to the downside, and then you continue momentum back to the upside. Okay. Right. But I mean, are we going to hit 500K this cycle? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to hit 500K. I like to be a little bit more flat with my feet on the ground before speculating on massive targets like that. Because I remember how everyone was screaming $100,000, 250 over here. Okay. And we found the top here at $68,000 and we went into a bear market. Do you guys remember Mr. Plan B? Right? Everyone was just hooked on Mr. Plan B's model that's going to take us to 100K, and we just never got to 100K. So I don't want to be super bullish and give unrealistic targets unless the structure shows me that it can continue to the upside. So I now want to see volume. I want to see some volume increase over here. And then that will give us a sense of a higher probability that this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. And this is only the start of the third wave here to the upside. That can get extremely bullish. But we first need to wait for volume. Volume is not there yet. So that's why I'm leaning more on the conservative side for now. Okay, hope that answered your question. Cool. Legends. Now, let's go into the probabilities, what I see here at the moment. Okay. So what I want to focus now on is this little structure over here. Okay. I think it's important to factor the halving time cycles into the model. That being said, maybe not, right? Yes, I have factored the halving times into the model. It has the halving times. All the orange lines is when the halvings took place. Okay. So also there's some other calculations that I haven't even gone to, but I'm not going to go through that now. These calculations was just to try and estimate a bull market target. The most realistic bull market target, okay, is $180,000. And I'm not going to bank anything on that and say that it is definitely a target, but I'm just going to say a realistic target for this bull cycle is $180,000 based on all these insane calculations that I've made over here, factoring in what happened during the previous bull cycles, bear cycles, the money that was made, the liquidity, the maturity, everything like that. Okay, cool. But 180K is a realistic bull market cycle, but by no stretch of the imagination am I saying that that is the target. I am more confident in the timing of the cycle than the target, because the target no one knows. Okay, right, legends. And remember, if you'd like to come and trade with me, links down in the description. You get to spin the wheel on weeks, right? The more you trade, the more chances you get to spin this week's wheel, and up to 1 Bitcoin, and it's exclusive to this community only. Okay. It's exclusive to you guys, whether you're an existing user or whether you are going to sign up with weeks today. The more you trade, the more chances you get to spin this wheel, and there's some guaranteed prizes in here. You're going to win one of those prizes. Okay, hopefully you win the 1 Bitcoin. That would be absolutely amazing. Algo nearing D-line. Yes, we can go and look at some altcoins in a moment. Let me just finish up the structure over here. I mean, I've been talking about Bitcoin for over an hour now, just going through the cycles and everything, but it takes time, right? It takes time. So, legends, I'm not going to keep this long, and then we can have some fun with the altcoins. Let's go and look at your favorite altcoin. So let me look at the structure very briefly. And there's a lot of scenarios in the structure, but I don't want to spend another hour here on Bitcoin just looking at the structure, because that's how long it could potentially take. From a simplicity perspective, okay, let me switch on some levels. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. So I've already done most of the analysis. It's now just about, switching it on and showing it to everyone. Yeah. Okay, do I want that one? No, I don't want this one now. Cool. Now, legends. First thing, I know it looks a bit messy. Let's dirty up the kitchen and cook some food, and then I'll clean up the kitchen and the chart in a moment. So the first thing is, I can actually take this out the way. Okay, the fib extensions. First thing we have to notice, from a simplicity perspective, we have a trend that we have broken out. And we have broken out with some nice green volume. So there is a chance that price is going to come back for a retest into the support zone. Okay, there is a daily level, if I'm not mistaken, a daily level. And I just want to highlight my point of controls, which will also highlight, but inside of this little consolidation area, there's also a point of control slightly higher. But this is a good support box over here. If price is going to continue bullishness to the upside, a bullish momentum to the upside, this is potentially a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is forming a larger ABC three-wave corrective structure to the downside. You want to find support in this zone. You make a higher low. You do not take the low. It's a bullish structure, and you continue momentum to the upside. If the structure plays out where we continue momentum to the upside, there's some nice bullish CVD proof of support between those two pivots. This is the box that I'm paying attention to. Do you guys remember when I had a box over here? When price was trading over here, we hit the box to perfection and we got the dump to the downside. Guess what? I have another one. Ah, Dewald, why? Why, oh, why do you have another box? Why can't we just continue to the upside? Okay, it's because as a technical trader, I have to observe the price reaction at each level, and I also have to know where to take profits. Okay, I need to know the 3 W's. Why am I entering? Where is my risk management, and where do I plan to take profits? Well, if we get a nice little bounce here to the upside, okay, that's a profit-taking zone for me. One aggressive, well, a very bullish target zone to the upside. Okay, and that is speculating on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. This thing does this, right? This is now the most bullish case scenario that I'm highlighting over here. So let's first, share the good news over here. This could potentially be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. Nice bullish structure. I want to see how price is going to react in this zone. Right. It could even be, wait, let me just do this properly. I need to take that scribble out so I can see that wick. Okay, so you could even argue to say that, well, this is a 1. I need the low to be in, but you can see, okay, the 1.618 also aligns nicely here with the top of the box, okay, which is a third wave target. So this could be, the third waves are the best waves to trade. It's never guaranteed that you're going to get a 4 and a 5, because what if this is an ABC and it falls down again? Okay. And this is why this is the best way for me to trade. I always want to get into this wave because you never know if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if it's an ABC. So that's always a great profit taking area for me. I don't care to miss out on this little pump to the upside. I don't care because I've already made all my profits in the third wave or in the C wave. Okay, so levels. So this is the most bullish case scenario. Legends, the correction is done. Okay, the correction ended over here. Correction is done. This was the end of the impulse. This was the corrective structure done over here. And we're now starting building impulses back to the upside. Beautiful, right? So that is something that we need to look out for. Take that out the way. Pay attention to the box, okay? And the box is in alignment with when you take, let me just get my 𝗬𝗫𝗂𝗿𝗃 in a row from the high to the low. You reverse it. Okay, I need to show everyone how to get that box. And I think the reason the levels are out is because I'm on lock scale. Okay, now it balances. So if you would like to add this box to your chart, you take your fib extension from the high to the low. You double click here at the bottom, you reverse your settings between the 1.236 and 1.382. This is exactly how we got this box, where we rejected, where I told everyone, if you want to short, you need to short now, because you cannot take this high. If price is going to fall down, it needs to fall right now. Okay, and it fell. So if price is going to fall when we hit this box, it needs to fall over here. And it has the potential to come and claim the low again, because this could be forming a larger flat structure again. You know the flat structures that just wipes out liquidity on both ends. It could do it again, right? It wipes out all the shorts, wipes out all the longs, and then market is reset and it continues. There is also another scenario, Legends, and I mean, this is why we have the levels on the chart. Pay attention to the high, because you might not get here. Okay, there's another scenario, and I'm not going to go through all the corrective scenarios, but what I'm basically seeing in this structure, let me make it clear. What I'm seeing in this structure is that for me, looking at the structure, the probabilities are higher to claim the high than the low first. Looking at the structure over here and looking at all the corrective structures, there's a higher probability to claim this high first before we claim the low. Okay, so it would be nice to see a three-wave structure to the upside. And once you've claimed this high, then the probabilities are reset. Once you've claimed the high, then you can come and claim this low again. Okay, so let me just make that clear. And that is why it's important to pay attention to the levels to the upside. If you swing failure from the highs, price moves down, it moves up, it struggles, bearish CVD building up over there, right? You could still come down and claim the lows. Okay, so I will be paying attention to the levels to the upside. Ideally, we go a little bit higher based on the bullish momentum, but I mean, it's not impossible to find weakness at these highs and then come tumbling down. So that is basically what I wanted to highlight here over here on the price of Bitcoin. Okay, so there's a couple of other scenarios, but I mean, from a simplicity perspective, we still have a naked point of control that has not been tapped. So I'm going to be paying attention to that level, right? With this momentum here to the upside, I had a naked point of control that we actually, did we front run it? Well, it depends on where you put that level. So let me switch on the session volume profile. Just want to make sure that I put that level in exactly the right spot, because we could have rejected here from the point of control. Yes. Okay, so one could argue, if I put it at the bottom of this thingy over here, switch this back off, okay, that is exactly where we got the rejection. Can you guys see how powerful these levels are? A naked point of control inside of this consolidation area. You tapped it to perfection and you got the dump now to the downside, right? So this could be an A, B, C to the downside in a three-wave structure. The problem with this little structure, and I told the Legends Pro community this morning, there's a little bit of a problem with this structure, is that if it's a B wave, B waves are very difficult to trade. It's the most difficult wave to trade. Okay, is because it could still find strength and continue to the upside. Okay, and unfortunately, B waves has many targets. That was a target. That, you know, we've already hit some of the targets already. That's a B wave target. There's more targets on the way for a B wave. A B wave can even claim the high and reject in this zone and come down in an A, B, C flat. So maybe this is the rejection. If you're going to take the low, then we're most likely in a C wave to the downside, in a three-wave structure, corrective structure, and then you continue momentum back to the upside. Okay, but B waves are very difficult to trade, especially from a profit-taking perspective. If you attempt it along over here from a swing failure perspective, okay, that was a TP area. You're hitting resistance. You're in a B wave. You don't know where it's going to turn around. You want to take profits. Definitely you want to take profits. This looks like an A wave. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In an A waves are always 5-wave structures. A B wave can be any corrective structure. You don't know what it's going to turn out, but they are most commonly 3-wave structures. And then a C wave to the downside is always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 3, basically a 5, 3, 5. Okay, ABC. I know this gets really technical, Legends, so I don't want to shower you guys with all the technicalities over here, but I have explained the probabilities, I think, good enough so that you know where to pay attention. Pay attention to the box. Pay attention to the box. Let's see how price reacts when it claims the high. And right, that is basically the simplicity of the structure that I see over here, trying to keep it simple. Okay, now we go through some altcoins. Let's quickly run through some altcoins. We are forming berry CVD. That makes sense because with a B wave to the upside, if this is the end of the impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're now forming a 3-wave structure to the downside. You want to see some berry CVD because the 3-wave structure is not complete. So you want to see us claim the low and come down a little bit deeper. Okay. Also, what you can do is from a Fibonacci perspective, okay, you're zooming into the structure. Let me just clean up the point of controls. You will take a fib from the low to the high. And if we are still expecting, if the probabilities are higher to claim the high before we claim the low, now what you want a bounce here by the 50%, 618, 786. You want a bounce in this zone. Okay, we do have a nice little daily level, very interesting daily level over here inside of the golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket is between the 618 and the 786. We have a daily level. So I'm going to be paying very close attention. It's also you coming to retest this trend. Okay, do you guys see this trend over here? You're coming to, if price had to fall down here, beautiful retest for continuation back to the upside. We have not retested the trend yet. Right, Legends. Now let's dive into some altcoin requests. I think we've seen a little bit enough of Bitcoin here at the moment. Everyone wants to know about their favorite altcoin, so we can do and take a couple of requests over here. And remember, if you want to come and trade your favorite altcoin, most of the altcoins, especially the big ones like the layer ones, I will go through the list when we go through the altcoins, are available on Weeks and on Bluffin. The more you trade on Bluffin, the more money gets airdropped into your account. The more you trade on Weeks, the more chances you get to spin this wheel. On both exchanges, all you need is an email and a password to sign up. The links are down in the description. Okay, for Weeks, what I like about Weeks over here is that you get up to $20,000 sign-up bonus. By using the link down in the description, you also get the low trading fees over here. And by using the link down in the description, you get to spin the wheel. Okay. And the more you trade, the more chances you get to spin the wheel. But I mean, that one Bitcoin looks very juicy. Okay, cool. Let's go. Cardano. Cardano, ADA, you mean ADA, right? I would like, if you guys do altcoin requests, because there's so many that I don't know that some of you sometimes request, please include the ticker as well, okay? So it's easy for me to go and search for it. Let me clean it up over here. Okay, let's go on to the 12-hour time frame. Let's just see. Oh, we got the rejection by the 1.618. Hit the target to perfection. Okay, so yeah, like I've highlighted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a 1. You made a beautiful 2. You just rampage up here in a number 3. And if Cardano still continues to the upside, I will simply just move the third wave up, because I mean, the third waves, you guys know how impulsive they can be. Right, so I think it's more interesting. Okay, we know that ADA has hit the 1.618. That is a profit-taking area. When we were speaking about KDA over here, we said that is a profit-taking area. That's exactly where we got the rejection and the consolidation at the moment. But you can still take advantage of the momentum to the upside. So you have to go into the smaller time frames, and now you need to go and play your breakouts. So as you can see, multiple successful breakouts here to the upside. There was a trend as well, broke out, and now the trend that you want is it's already had a little bit of a fake out, so I'll just keep the trend there. Okay, when you have a little bit of a fake out, I just like to adjust my trend to the new pivot, right? So I'll be watching for the breakout over here. Okay, so basically that is what I'm watching here on KDA. Right, it's just, yeah, I'm not gonna, guys, it does take hours and hours and hours and hours to analyze a chart properly, like I've done with Bitcoin. Okay, I cannot do that type of analysis on every single altcoin. So I'm keeping it high level, and I'm just applying the D-line strategy, looking at basic Elliott wave scenarios and counts to the upside with some basic targets, right? But I can spend hours and hours and hours here on ADA, counting the structures in detail, and then assessing the probabilities. Are we going to go higher, or are we still going to continue the correction to the downside? I just cannot, with an altcoin request over here, I just cannot spend that amount of time on every single altcoin. Okay, then people will just leave. Right. So that's basically what I see on ADA. Injective, Dewald, please, let's go. INJ, USDT. Okay, I'm first looking for the breakouts. Okay, I first want to see the breakouts. Oh, that's also a very nice trend. It does look like some of the alts are in the making of a bump and run scenario. Okay, bump and run, you can go and Google it. It has the 2 taps to the top. It has the bump phase to the bottom, and then it has the run phase to the upside to go and at least claim the high. A lot of people are scared to play bump and runs because of how far your stop loss needs to be. Okay, so, but I mean, I do like this dump here and the breakout, which means you could have a tighter stop loss. But this structure stays bullish until you claim the 786. So I just want to explain this, because this is going to apply to most of the altcoin requests I'm going to get, because the structures are so similar. Okay, structures are very, very similar. Okay, so most of the altcoins that you guys are going to ask me for now have this structure. So from a bullish perspective, you don't want to lose the 786. Looking at the structure here to the upside, you do not want to lose the 786. If price is going to come down, loses the 786, and it starts dancing around the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low and maybe even going down lower. So in the most bullish perspective, what you would like to see is the bounce on the 382, 50%, 618, and then it breaks the trend. You know where to put your risk management, and it continues, it goes and it claims the high. Okay, so now that I've said that, you're going to see that most of the altcoin requests over here, similar structure. ARB, okay, AR, sorry, I know that someone has asked for AR during the beginning of the stream. Okay, so I'm just going to take this box out the way so to clean it up a little bit. Can you guys see? Same. Right, same. And both AR, Fetch, Flux, all the altcoins that I'm talking about here at the moment can be traded on weeks, and bluffing. Links down in the description. Also your way to support the channel. It costs you nothing extra and you qualify for those insane bonuses and trading fees on weeks. Okay, so now that I've explained that, do you guys see potential bump and run? Okay, my trend was here this morning. I also, when I did my update to the Legends Pro community, I said often, okay, let me drop some education over here. Often what happens is you break trend, okay, and then price grinds against the trend, but it doesn't get acceptance back inside. Then what I do is I draw another trend and I wait for that breakout. And now I potentially have a better stop loss than trying to put my stop loss over there. Something else that I sometimes also do when the momentum is very similar, I will delete that trend and all I will do is I will readjust my trend. And now it's breaking out again. Hence, my alarm has been irritating me during the entirety of this live stream so far. You know, AR looks like it wants to break out for some reason. Okay. So, looking very juicy over here. Then, who else? Someone asked for ARB. ARB, USDT. Let's go. Similar structure. Ooh, ARB actually looks great. It looks like it's already broken out. It looks like it's already done the retest. Actually, it looks way more bullish than some of the other altcoins, right? That's the trend that you can trick. Okay. Or what you can do is you can adjust your trend and wait for that breakout. But I mean, based on this trend over here, it has consolidated, it's broken out, it consolidated above trend. And usually when it bounces here on trend, but it doesn't get acceptance back inside, I track this momentum. Or you can adjust your trend and just say, well, I don't want to have multiple trends. I'm just going to wait for the breakout of that trend. Okay. So however, which way you want to play it is that this looks like it's, you know, going to pop here to the upside. It has already done the retest, but if it rejects by the trend and it comes back down, you do have some, you do have some strong support in that zone. And that's also where you got the bounce. Okay. But same structure, right? Remember, you take a fib from the low to the high. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually tap to 0.382 on most of these structures where we're getting the bounce at the moment. Yes, you have the impulse to the upside or the move to the upside. You bounced, guess where? 0.382 to perfection. Now you're getting a little bit of a reaction. If you reject, okay, 50%. The juiciest one is actually the 618 because it has, you know, the beautiful consolidation area over here. And then you continue momentum to the upside. So 786 is the maximum target, right? But I mean, in bullish momentum, usually the retracements are very shallow. So I wouldn't be surprised that that is the low and it's just going to break out from here. Cool. What else? Thank you guys. Great stream. Have a great weekend and see you all next time. Lax Joker. Pleasure, man. Go and enjoy your weekend. All see you in the next one. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, Dewald 4K subscribers. Well done. Like, subscribe, legends. Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Crypto Big Brains. Yesterday, I did hit 4,000 subscribers. I am so chuffed with the results in terms of how quickly the channel grew over the last year, because I mean the channel is about what 12-13 months old now, so it's also it's a year, you know, it's the celebration. Channel is 1 year old. Well, happy 1 year birthday. It's hit 4,000 subscribers, and I mean it's only going to get better from here. Nicola, can you take a look at cover for spot bags? Dewald, thank you. Yes, let's go and have a look at KVA or cover. Yo, this looks familiar. I think I have done some analysis on this one before. Okay, so from a spot perspective, you want to look at the larger time frames. You don't care about day trades. Okay, so this analysis was done so long ago. Okay, so I'm just going to be. I don't care about this structure. don't care about it, the structure, because you made a new low. So all I care about what's happening here. Okay, I cannot use any of these structures to try and work out where the price can go because it needs to form a new bullish structure. So all I can do is look at this structure. So let's take the scribble out. Let's go on to the 8-hour time frame. Now I just need to quickly assess what is cooking over here. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ugh, this is such an ugly structure, but I mean, from a trading perspective, it was a beautiful structure. I mean, you broke out there beautifully with momentum there to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. This is a third wave. Oof, not an easy structure. Flip from the low to the high. Yes. So, I mean, if this is some sort of a contract or expanding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 wave is already way larger than the third wave. There's just a couple of rules that's broken with the structure over here. Maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2. I mean, I need to zoom into the smaller time frames to make sense of the structure. Okay. But if this is a third wave here to the upside, because it does have some nice volume, which tells me that this could be a third wave here to the upside. So if this is a 1, this is a 1, and this is a 2, and I don't want to go and count the structure in detail, and this is a third wave here to the upside. Maximum target is the 50%. We did not tap the 618. So you want this to be the low. Okay. So you're basically forming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that is the problem. Okay. You can definitely still have the potential to go and claim the high over here. But then after you've made this high, there is still the potential to make a larger ABC to the downside, not taking these lows. Okay. And then it explodes to the upside in a third wave. The problem that I see here on KAVA, okay, is that you have made a fresh low over here, a new bear market low, the lowest point on the price action. So you need to form a 1, 2, 3, okay, not take the low over here where you're going to have that face melting price action. Can it continue over here and just face melt to the upside? Yes, it can build 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it can just continue to the upside. Okay, but from a spot bag perspective, if this is a 3, 4, 5 ABC, you can see that this is still a good zone to buy, because even in the worst case scenario, you make one more high and then you start an ABC correction to the downside, it is still in the zone where you would need to buy. Hope that makes sense. It's the best way that I can explain it, right? Who asked that question? Nicola, I think. Nicola, if I'm not mistaken, right? But you guys see that whether you buy here or whether you buy here, it's in the same zone. So if you want to invest from a spot perspective, I would say this is the zone where you want to invest, or where I would invest. No financial advice. Please do your own research. Okay, XRP. Guys, you still want to look at XRP? I mean, XRP has done absolute amazing things here to the upside, and people still want to get into XRP. Okay, if you want to day trade it, by all means. If you want to invest, you're a little bit late. Okay, XRP. Let's look at it on the 1-hour structure. I know that XRP is forming a beautiful trend. Okay, I did have another XRP. Yeah, let's do this XRP. There we go. You wait for the break of the trend. Simple. The only thing you can do on XRP now is day trade. You've missed the investment opportunities. If you want to invest over here from a long-term perspective, just be uncomfortable to be underwater, because you might claim the high, it might break out, it goes up, it claims the high, and it comes back down. Okay, so this is a day trade. You enter, you know where to put your stop loss, you know where to take profits, you get in, you get out, done. XRP has already done phenomenal things to the upside from an to speculate on an investment over here. Okay, yes, it can still rampage to the upside. All I'm saying is you need to be uncomfortable to be underwater, because it can still go to $5. It can maybe even go to $7, $10. Who knows? Okay, and then you have a great place where you've bought. But right, for me, this is a day trade. There's a big difference from an investment perspective and from a day trading perspective. Okay, XRP is not in a zone where I would personally invest. My investment entry on XRP is 40 cents, 44 cents. Thanks for the super chat over here. If you long peanut now with 3x leverage, where would your SL be? That's an interesting question. Let me go and check. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. That's a very interesting question. Peanut. Let's go have a look at peanut over here. Okay. A lot of people are bullish on Mr. Peanut for some reason. Okay, meme coins. People are making meme coins. So your question is, if you long peanut right now, where would your SL be? Okay, well, personally, I would only long when you break the trend. Okay, until then, I'm not interested. On this, well, this is the smaller time frame. Okay, this is unfortunately the small time frame. Okay, there's now also not the most beautiful, but there's another trend. You can see the trend was first there, it faked out, then the trend was there, then the trend was there. So this trend is potentially not finished forming. The best way is most probably there. Okay, there's your trend. These fresh meme coins with low liquidity doesn't have beautiful technical analysis. But if I entered right here, my stop would be below the low, regardless of how much leverage you used. Okay, that's where my stop will be. I will take the knock on the chin. I would rather wait for the breakout. I would rather wait for the breakout. Okay, so regardless of the amount of leverage, obviously if you 100x over here and you will get liquidated before your stop loss hits. But that is where my invalidation would be, because you're kind of longing in the middle of nowhere. There's no, I mean, there's no support here from a price action perspective. So you have to be patient and wait. If price was down here, I would say, okay, that looks better from a longing perspective, because you're finding support at price action. But price is in the middle of nowhere. It's not a longing zone for me. But to answer your question, and I'm not saying that you have entered the long, if I had to long over here, my stop would be below the low, and I will take the knock on the chin. I will not move my stop loss. I would rather be stopped out and get a better entry here to the downside and then ride the momentum up than trying to enter over here and move my stop loss and keep on adding, and you in with your entire account and you get liquidated. That is a mistake that 99.99999% of every new trader makes. They keep on adding to position, hoping that the price is going to turn around, and that is how they burn their accounts. Please don't do that, because most new traders do that. And if you're here on the channel and you are an experienced trader, you know that you've most probably done it as well, because I have done it when I started out trading. Mr. Not Financial Advice, join the Legends Pro community. Yes, guys, the first link down in the description. This is where myself and Andy do live technical analysis every single day, or video technical analysis every single day. Another thing I wanted to, I don't know what happened there. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is we're testing something new out here. Let me drag this across, show everyone. Okay, this is just the people chatting, but here inside of my section, okay, I do a live stream every single morning inside of the Legends Pro community from Monday to Friday. I do take a break on weekends. You know, we're all human. We need to reset our energy. And what I now also do is I do a little bit of a summary of what I said in the video if people don't have time to watch it. So from Monday or from today, I'm doing a video update and I do a summary. And obviously, when you guys ask questions inside of here, you tag me. I also answer your questions, or I try my best to get to all the questions that you guys answer. Andy does analysis here inside of his section, pointing out all the altcoins and alpha that he is looking at. So guys, yes, if you would like to join the Legends Pro community, where can it like to be? First link down here in the description. Okay. And right, what else? What else? Let me just get my YouTube screen back here. I see most of the people are jumping here off the screen or off the chat. I'm thinking, you know, Andy most probably went live. People want to go and check out Andy. So guys, I'm going to call it over here. Thank you so much for watching. Smash up the like on your way out. Hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I will enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now.